So actually, like I wrote for the Jerusalem Post about like the fact that Palestinians are not being educated about the Holocaust, and the fact that like I've been like in school for many years, and we have been taught about like the World War One and World War Two, and the fact that there were like a Holocaust is not even mentioned. Like
Wow.
it's not like like it's not even like and there was like a Holocaust. It's not like this. It's not even mentioned this. So for me, like it was like in the article, I wrote about my very first experience with getting exposed to Holocaust. It was like like as a person who lived in Jerusalem, I heard the siren. So I asked,
For Holocaust Memorial
yeah,
Day.
the Holocaust Memorial Day. So for me, like I asked, like I was a kid. I was like about like 8, 9 years old, and I was like, like the first thing, because we were living in a conflict, the first thing that came to my mind is the war. So I was like, Dad, what is that? And he said like, I was like, where are the rockets? Are we safe? And he was like, no, it's not a war. And I said like, so what is it? Like I know that it's a war. Don't lie to me. And he said like, actually it's the day of the Memorial Day of the the memory of like that the Jews have been like burned and killed in the Holocaust. And I said like, what is Holocaust? So, like it was so hard for me like, what is that? Like what is that? So he was like, yeah, okay, so Jews were burned and killed like some years ago. Like he didn't tell me about the whole concept and stuff. But like I still acknowledge that this thing happened. And I was like, really? There were like many people who were killed? And he said yes, like lots of people were killed. So I said like, okay. Like for me, like I was happy because like there isn't war, but I was sad like because like he said like like people who get burned and killed. But afterwards, like like history, like grade after grade, like history book after history book. I mean like Palestinian history book. Like I like it wasn't there, and like I wasn't in a like like most Palestinians we don't even when I was like at that age we didn't even have laptops. So now it's easier like to see like as a kid like, okay, so they're hearing about this thing, okay, so I'll write it down on Google and check it. It wasn't like that for me, so it was like okay, like what should I do? So I didn't know about the Holocaust actually, like the real details. But afterwards, like growing up, like I remember like when I was 14, 15, I said, okay, so what about going to a library and just like like reading about the Holocaust? And still, like it wasn't like I like as at a Palestinian library, I didn't find like something to really like. It was too complicated. Actually, I hated politics. I really hated politics. I didn't talk about it. I didn't watch the news. So for me, like it was like, okay, so the Holocaust and the state of Israel. And I was like reading, okay, like 1, 2, like about like 50 pages, and it's too hard for me to understand what's that. I hate politics, so I just like closed the book and.
This is in Arabic you're reading or in
Yeah.
English? Okay. So there was something written about the Holocaust.
Yeah, but it's, it's linking to Zionism. Like it's
Okay.
it's really complicated. I didn't know about all of it. Like like we don't even study about Zionism and. In history, which I mean, I think that it's not like a thing. Like we, at least, like if we're not like willing to live in coexistence, just like it's good to know about each other.
Yeah.
So okay, so anyway, like we didn't know about that. I hated politics. I would talk about any other thing, but not politics, because it's traumatic. So for me, like it was really hard to understand. I did, like it was like as I read, like it was in it was like Hitler and stuff. Like it was a very basic information. I didn't get deep, and it wasn't like showing the real hatred, the real suffering of people. It was just like mentioning it as a way like connected to Zionism.
Okay. So when did you learn about the Holocaust, really?
Okay, so back then, like I didn't learn like really, but what really made me like getting really exposed to Holocaust is meeting a woman who had like a love story, and actually like her, the person that she loved was burned in the Holocaust, and I met her like it was like in West Jerusalem. It was like all of them were Israelis. I was the only Palestinian there. Because like I had a friend and he said like Holocaust, and I said like a Holocaust survivor, and he said yes, like, I want to go for this. I just want to see, like to talk to her, to see her. And he said like okay, like you're invited if you want. I was the only Palestinian there, like all like Jewish Israelis and people from abroad, but I was the only Palestinian there, and I was like just sitting watching the movie. And afterwards, like what I wanted is to talk to her, to the Holocaust survivor. And she was like really talking about like the idea of how it hurts. I started feeling, like it's a very old woman talking about like her human suffering, and I felt really like, like I got really emotional about this. Like it's first like they made like a movie about her story, and second like like a woman who is talking about like her suffering. So I like I just couldn't not to relate to that, because like it's we are all human and we all relate to each other pain and each other suffering. So for me, like seeing her, like it was like only 2 years ago when I met this woman, and then I decided, okay, I want to read about this. I want to get into it. I want to know more. I don't know, like I want to know what Holocaust is. So afterwards, like I went to Yad Vashem, and like I spent like a couple of hours there, and I still do want to go back again. And for me, like it's really important for every Palestinian, even though you're not willing to have like Jewish people or Israeli people as best friends, just get to know about Holocaust. Like you will understand that that Palestinians maybe now like yes, like they have also suffering and stuff, but also Israelis or Jewish nation like had like lots of suffering. I'm not only talking about Holocaust. They have been also suffering from the Arab nations before, which actually like lots of Palestinians will not like this. But actually, it really did happen to them also in the Arab wars, but it was like not
as much.
Yeah, not as much as the Holocaust. So
part of the problem in this is that there's sort of competing victimhoods here, right? So people feel that if I learn about how the other side is victim in some way, it takes away from me being a victim.
Yeah.
I think that's that makes no sense. You can have two victims. It's okay. And we don't even have to say, it's like two people with cancer. We don't have to say, oh, my brain cancer is worse than your stomach cancer. I mean, it's cancer. It's cancer to the person experiencing it. They're a victim, and fair enough. That's okay. Is there a way to kind of get through? Because I noticed, but mostly with on the Arab side more so than on the Jewish side, it's really hard for them to see that that both sides can have victims.
Yeah. Actually, it is true. Like now, if you're talking about, actually, like we have been having this discussion before. Like I was talking with the Israelis, and they were saying that, like some of them were saying now the Palestinians are the oppressed people. Like now, I'm talking about now. Like, and some other people like no, like they're. Till now, they're also like the Israelis who are being oppressed. So it's about like who is the oppressed and who is like the oppressed.
But can each person just like feel that yes, I'm oppressed too, or I don't know what it has to do with it. It's not going to solve the conflict if I'm more oppressed than you. But why can't you be oppressed? It's okay to say and to acknowledge that somebody else is oppressed.
Yeah, it's actually like it's the hard thing that like the majority now, like I would tell you like what did we get to according to our conversation.
Mhm.
So we said like now like the more oppressed people are the Palestinians, and this fact maybe like from this fact we will say like now it's really hard for Palestinians to acknowledge that Israelis or Jewish people were oppressed like for many years ago, like in the Holocaust and before the Holocaust and the Arab Wars, and for them like it's okay, like now we are the oppressed and they have, you know, like it's hard to say that yes, they have also suffering, they have also the Holocaust, they have like the problem with the Arab war, with the Arab countries before the establishment of the state of Israel, and also like the riots, the Arab riots before the establishment of the state of Israel. So actually, it's really hard for them like to have like another victim, another suffering beside the Palestinian suffering. So
I mean, I think victimhood helps explain why people do things or feel things, but it doesn't lead to anything positive. I mean, you know, so what? People are victims. You need to solve problems, not compete. It's not a game. It's not a winner and a loser.
yeah, actually, like I really hate when like feelings and experiences are being like, you know, like sorted out. Okay, like your feelings fed for this side, so I gotta use it for the good of Palestine.
Yeah.
And your feelings fed for this side, so I gotta use it for the good of Israel.
For some kind of propaganda.
Yeah, I really hate that because for me, like, human feeling is a very respected thing. So if you just want to compete and say like, oh, we are the ultimate victims. No, the Jewish people are the ultimate victims. Like it's gonna lead nowhere. We have to respect the feelings. We have to acknowledge the, you know, like the horrible thing that the people have been through. So as long as we are just like sorting out feelings and using it as a propaganda and claiming, for example, like if someone have a real suffering and say like, no, it's just an Israeli or just a Palestinian propaganda. No, it's not. It didn't happen before. Like it's, you know, like as long as we have this mental block, we're not going nowhere. So like acknowledge each other, like just listen to each other and don't sort out feelings as propagandas.
Yeah.